Hey everybody, welcome to Passion Fruits, a passion project for passionate people. I'm your lima bean, Daniel.
That's not a fruit. Anyways, I'm your boysenberry boy, Adam.
I definitely lost that thread.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. The podcast, just like the Ohio State.
Yes.
Capital T, the capital P, oddcast.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to... Jesus, before Adam continues, because he looks like he was about to. Welcome to Passion Fruits, a passion project for passionate people. I'm your lima bean, Daniel.
And I'm your boysenberry, Adam.
And we are here to talk to you about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Live, laugh, love, guys. Just live, laugh, love. Too blessed to be stressed. Too blessed, too stressed.
Update. Both our names were just changed to Karen.
To what? Karen? Oh, nice. I want to talk to a manager because these jokes aren't funny. So what do we do on this podcast, Adam?
Oh, well, Daniel, we do a great many things on this podcast. We actually talk about a great many things.
Yes.
But truthfully, what we really do is we get to the essence of what takes someone from being a casual fan of something to being a passionate fanatic about that thing.
Totally.
And thing, it can be a noun.
Yes.
It can be a verb. It can be
verb.
An adjective.
An adjective.
Yes.
Yeah. What were our adjective episodes?
Fast
and Furious?
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
Nice.
I figured it out. Adam was going to spend about an hour trying to figure it out. He can't remember our episode titles. He was about to say Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, which people were very confused by our bonus episode.
They were?
Yeah. A lot of people it just ended. Just be thankful you're getting 10 extra minutes in a week that we're off. Any hoozle. Sorry, I met with some of our biggest fans this past weekend. Shout out to Robert and Justin.
In fairness,
yes,
I was confused, and I participated in
and
the
Adam
episode.
was like, Star Wars? He says he's the biggest fan, but he's not. Anyway,
I heard there are only 2 Star Wars movies out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
And episode 12,
and
The Rise of Han Solo.
Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Today we are going to be talking about a verb. Specifically, it could be a noun too.
It could be.
Skiing.
Yes.
We're talking about skiing today. Winter skiing, not water skiing.
Oh, we could talk about water skiing as well.
No.
Let's mission creep
It's
this.
already too much to be asking to talk about skiing.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
You didn't realize it, but I'm a snowboarder, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
no. The worst.
Radical. Anyway, we're talking about skiing. Adam, you are an avid skier.
Yes, a wonderfully mediocre yet avid skier.
Nice.
Yes.
You have just returned from the skiing capital of the world, Canada.
The Great White North.
The Great White Way.
America's hat.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you think America's penis is?
Florida. Duh.
It's the flaccid penis of this flaccid country.
Why did I engage in that that joke?
You're on fire tonight. We're talking about skiing tonight. Adam is a very avid skier.
Yes.
Some would say a mediocre skier, himself included.
Yes.
But I would say he's amazing. So, Adam, talk to us about skiing. What the fuck? Well, let's hop into Passion Fruitspedia.
How we slide into Passion Fruitspedia.
Let's ski into Passion Fruitspedia because we're not talking about doing cocaine. We're talking about hitting the slopes on our winter skis. So,
with all that sweet, sweet powder.
Oh, yeah.
White, fluffy powder.
Pow, pow.
Yeah.
Adam, what is skiing?
All right, well, according to Passion Fruitspedia,
yes,
skiing is a means of transport using skis to glide on snow. Now, I have a question for for all those in the Wikipedia land. Is it okay to utilize the word and the definition of aforementioned word?
No.
Exactly.
We knew that in first grade when we wrote the dictionary because we're that old.
Exactly. So anyways, skiing is a means of transport using skis to glide on snow. Now,
What are skis, Adam?
Exactly. It's what I was going to say. They
Oh,
are
sorry.
two essentially planks of wood that are more or less flat with rockered ends.
Wait,
So
hold on. What are rockered ends?
they're slightly turned up at the tips.
Got it. I'm
And-
slightly turned up at the tip.
Yeah. Walked right into that one.
Wink.
Skied right into that one. No, but they're long planks of wood, and so the length of the ski allows the person wearing the ski or skis to float on top of snow instead of sinking down into the snow.
Right. That's what it's all about, floating.
Anyways,
My eyes went glassy when you started to talk seriously about skiing. Like, oh, fuck, Adam's really going for it.
oh, just you wait, Daniel.
Yeah.
Just you wait. So there are many variations of skiing.
And we're going to go through each one, spend about an hour on each. So go ahead, Adam.
Yeah. Now, I would classify skiing got its start as being more transportation than anything. It was
Right,
it was a
like in the
practical-
definition.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a practical use to get across very snowy territory. So
Right.
if you were living in Siberia and you
Yeah.
need to get from one end of Siberia to the other end of Siberia,
In just one day.
Yep.
You had
You
your
used-
rocket-powered
you
skis.
used skis.
Got it.
But now it's more of I would argue, a recreational activity.
Much like a lot of types of that shit, like
Yeah.
cycling.
Yeah, like basketball. It used to be a
skiing.
blood sport.
It used to be a form of transportation. People would just hop on a ball and you would throw it really far.
You would bounce.
Yeah.
But so,
Baseball, you would run home. Oh, yeah. Nice.
now skiing has an interesting history. It has a history of almost 5 millennia. Citation needed.
Wait, what? 5 millennia.
That's what the Wikipedia thing says. Okay?
Krong would go get his saber-toothed tiger skis that he made out of the tusks and the ribs. Would
Of a woolly mammoth. Yes, they
yeah,
would.
shit.
Thank you,
I
Daniel.
said saber-toothed tiger. Woolly mammoth is much better.
So now
More practical. See,
now-
they had the long tusks. So, sorry, go ahead.
So, although modern skiing has evolved from beginnings in Scandinavia, it may have been practiced more than 100 centuries ago in what is now China, according to an interpretation of ancient paintings. So, clearly, as with everything, the Chinese have done it first.
Of course.
Go Asians.
Fireworks, skiing. Fascinating.
Yes.
Did they also put fireworks on the back of their skis?
That's actually exactly why they made skis.
Oh,
They were
shit.
like, skiing is really freaking lame.
Yeah.
Let's put fireworks on the back of them.
Yep.
And we've made it much more exciting.
We're just reducing a whole people down to enjoying fireworks and skiing. The founders of both. Well, cool, Adam.
Yep.
You continued on the outline, so go ahead.
Yes. So don't interrupt me, Daniel.
Jesus.
I have yet to begin to fight. Just like
What?
John Paul Jones.
Mm,
Yeah.
bass player for Led Zeppelin.
Yes, exactly. Doom, 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 doom,
Oh, here we go. That famous Led Zeppelin riff. Sounds exactly like Seinfeld.
Doom, 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 doom.
Oh, yeah, here we go. That's a good
Walking
shit.
that skiing bass line.
Walk with me in hell, Adam. Tell me about skiing.
So, Daniel,
Yes.
there are 3 different types of skiing.
Okay.
Only one of which I'm going to talk about, but
Oh,
I'll
man.
introduce all 3 types.
Okay.
So the 3 types, actually, I'll talk about 2 of them.
Oh.
What the hell? Why not?
Wow. I hope you don't take this for granted, listeners. This is Adam.
You're getting 2 for the price of 1 this evening.
This is BOGO.
I know.
Adam, tell me about skiing.
All right, so there are 3 types of skiing. The first being alpine skiing, which is commonly referred to as downhill skiing. So that's where you take the chairlift up and you ski down the slope.
Gotcha.
And you look super awesome doing it.
And they give you mail to transport down because that's what this is all about.
Exactly.
Transportation.
You can only alpine ski in Scandinavia,
Right.
and you can only do it if you're transporting something.
I mean, if you're, say you're quotation marks, alpine skiing in Canada, are you really alpine skiing?
Not really.
You're not in Scandinavia.
Exactly.
They look down at you with their perfectly sculpted noses. Yeah. Oh, so
every lift ride up during every lift ride up when I was skiing in Canada. Every single time you went by one of the poles on the ski lift, it was like, you're not skidding over you. Your life is a lie.
Where is this going? I prefer Uber rides up the mountain. Whoa, yeah.
Oh, wow. Uber, not Lyft, huh? Wow.
I like spying on people and taking driver's money.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, how else am I going to get rich? So alpine skiing is downhill skiing.
Yep.
Nice.
Now you also have Nordic skiing.
Oh my
which is
God.
also known as cross-country skiing.
Oh, nice.
So the differences between the two is that Nordic skiing, you can go uphill and downhill.
What?
Whereas downhill is only downhill. And
This is going to be our second most popular episode. Nothing can beat Foo Fighters, but
but Nordic skiing is like cross country skiing. So you generally along flat surfaces or up or down, and it's just a very different form of skiing. The equipment's very different.
yeah,
and that's truthfully used more for transportation.
right, because you're going cross country,
Yes,
if
exactly.
you will,
Or cross Siberia, as I referenced
or
earlier.
across Siberia or China.
And then lastly, there's telemark skiing, which
Oh.
no one cares about. And it's kind of a dying breed of skiing.
What is telemark skiing? I've never even fucking heard of it.
It is a combination of Nordic skiing and downhill skiing.
So when you go around doing your skiing trips, do you say, "Hey, let's go Nordic skiing. Let's go alpine skiing"? Do you say that to your dad?
Sometimes.
Whoa.
You're
a true skier.
I have Nordic skis
Whoa.
and Nordic ski boots.
You're so Nordic.
Nordic. I am commonly mistaken for a Scandinavian.
Yes, totally. Wait, so sorry. Tell me more about telemark.
So telemark skiing is a compromise between the two, and really they're skis that are designed with special bindings. So the clips basically that hold your feet to the skis, they're designed so that you can basically utilize them as a cross-country ski. But they're bigger and wider skis and that look more like alpine skis.
Got it.
So that you can come down. You can descend down a regular ski slope as well.
Gotcha.
Essentially, the reason that Nordic skiing is more or less the reason that telemark skiing is more or less becoming extinct is because the skis were heavy or not heavy, but the skis were heavier than cross-country skis and not as efficient at going uphill. And they weren't stiff enough, and you couldn't lock your rear heel down with the binding.
Got it.
So that it was a lot harder to come downhill as well.
Got it.
So there's a lot of new technology out there that basically mitigates the need for telemark skis now. So 3 different types of skiing. I personally only do downhill skiing and Nordic skiing, both of which Nordic skiing is kind of like the jogging of Scandinavia.
Right. Cross-country skiing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned so much about skiing. Of course, this is all done on snow.
Yes.
Which is just another form of water.
Yes. So technically, this is all water skiing.
Oh my God, you're right.
Mind blown.
Do you ever call it winter water skiing?
Oh, I should.
You should.
We should. Hold on. Trademark TM. I'm gonna start up my own Instagram.
All right, we
account.
need to write a letter to us saying, "Here's the idea of winter water skiing." Then we mail it to ourselves. And
Nice.
That's the date of the copyright.
Nicely done.
Take
done.
note.
Done and done.
March 69, 2020. Oh yeah, 420
I can't wait till we record on April 20th.
on our 420 episode.
Yeah.
Adam will finally stop smoking weed.
The one day out of the year which I don't smoke.
Yeah, you
weed.
take this is a day of remembrance for you. You have a moment of silence at 420. All right, Adam.
But yeah, so that is kind of the
grand. We went through like everything. The
Yeah.
grand history
Now,
of skiing,
like alpine skiing.
from China to Adam. We learned about skiing.
Alpine skiing, which is what going to be the bulk of what today's episode is going to be about, is obviously concentrated in fairly specific geographic regions. So
Okay.
it has to be in the mountains, clearly.
Yeah, foothills.
Yep. And
At
it
least.
has to be in an area that has snow, or it gets a lot of snow
Right.
annually. Now that's key. So write this down, listeners, because this is something
Hold on,
we're
let
going
me-
to bring up later on in the show.
I'm going to put this in our show notes, Adam. Go ahead and
Skiing
continue.
requires snow and mountains.
Tell me more.
Yeah, so these mountains have to be tall enough to have snow, and the snow must be able to be retained on the mountains.
Now, Adam, tell me about if a mountain doesn't get enough snow in a year.
Well, the sad thing is,
There's my note.
the sad thing is, you probably won't be able to ski on that mountain.
But you could have man-made snow.
You could have man-made snow, so that's a pretty big aspect about a topic later on in this episode.
Oh, God.
Is the environmental impacts of snowmaking or just of the skiing industry in general.
Oh, shit. Adam's going to show us how to blow snow.
Uh,
Adam's going to show us how to blow white stuff.
uh,
Okay, Adam, I want to know about your little feet and them little skis.
No.
I want to learn how you got into skiing. Because, I mean, honestly, you know nothing about skiing and you don't go skiing ever. So it's kind of weird that you're doing this episode when I'm a professional skier.
it's true, and I apologize for it, Daniel.
No, I mean, we've known each other for, God, I would say about 5 minutes now. The first thing you brought up was how much of a skier you are, and you've taken multiple skiing trips this year alone.
Yeah, that's true.
And in the past several years. But yeah, I don't know, like, I guess in college, I don't know if you did much ski trips outside of regular Christmas breaks and stuff like that. So,
right.
But yeah, tell us how did little Adam get into little skiing?
Yeah. So I've been skiing since I was about 3. So
3 years old?
yes, I was one of those cute little kids on the bunny slope, kind of skidding my way down.
You had those tiny little skis.
Yeah.
Nice.
Adorable. Totes
Adorbs,
adorbs.
yeah.
I had a mini multicolored fluorescent one-piece ski suit that
Of
my
course.
parents dressed me up in.
Hell
It was
yeah.
awesome.
I bet.
Hashtag early 90s fashion.
And, agreed. Indeed.
And really the reason I got into skiing was because of my parents. So
Right.
both my parents are skiers.
Gotcha.
And my parents have we were fortunate enough to have a small condo at a local ski resort over in West Virginia.
Hold up. Is this going to be a timeshare offer? Listeners, get out while you still can.
Just wait. There's more.
You get to spend one night alone with Adam. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so my parents have had a ski condo at Snowshoe Mountain for basically since the early 80s.
Oh, man.
And so we've had that. So we've always utilized family breaks, especially winter breaks, to go skiing for at least for a few days. And so both my sister and I, my sister who is 2 years younger than myself, we grew up skiing.
Nice.
And we skied pretty consistently every single winter for at least, at least a week or two every winter. I'd say up through high school.
Gotcha.
And really the big break was in college when
That was your big break when you got into cycling.
exactly. Actually, that was a big reason is I had a week-long cycling camp in the winter instead of going skiing.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
Never got invited.
Because you weren't cool,
I
Daniel.
didn't have a road bike either. Or a good mountain bike. I'm so sorry.
But really, so the reason I got into skiing and the reason that I have such fond memories of skiing and the reason why I continue to do it and why I still want it to be a big part of my life is that really was really special family time for me. So up at our condo at Snowshoe, one, we didn't have cell phones back then.
Oh my God.
But
what did you even do with your life?
I don't know. I had no clue. I was lost and alone and afraid.
Oh God.
On top of a mountain.
In snow. Terrifying. Jesus.
No, but it really was just, our condo wasn't huge, so we just a lot of very special family time.
Yeah.
Where pretty much all we did was ski, eat, play board games.
Sleep.
Yeah, and sleep. It was like the quintessential vacation.
Nice,
for
man.
a lot of us.
That sounds very nice.
And that
cozy.
that was the case for a lot of my family trips. We camp a lot, backpack, ski.
All for transportation purposes.
Yeah,
really, your dad was a member of the Pony Express, except it was skiing and walking instead of ponies. So.
Yeah, we had no idea why we were forced to carry huge satchels of stuff around.
The only ponies Adam cares about is the racing ponies. And by racing ponies, I mean greyhounds.
What?
Adam, okay, that's next episode. We'll talk about Adam's affinity for greyhound racing. So cruel, Adam, so cruel.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, go ahead.
And we're going to get a call from PETA for this.
Good. Then we can talk to them. Go ahead.
And so more recently,
Yes.
post college, and now I have like a job, jobs and a career that afford me to afford skiing,
Right.
Which is something that I'll get into later on.
Adam has so much to get into.
Very much.
I'm going to write
so.
these down. Go
Very
ahead.
much so, but also, once again, just the flexibility of having the time to be able to go skiing too is, I have been going on longer and kind of pushing my skiing ability more to the limit and going up to Canada, going out west, and just spending more time skiing, which I've just found is just a really fun recreational activity for myself.
Totally.
And it's something that I'm decent at.
Do you do jumps?
I try.
Do you do backflips?
No.
Do you do any tricks?
Not really.
Did you ever try snowboarding?
I did not try snowboarding.
Interesting. You were, well, I guess you started so early that it was kind of like ski for life. You have that tattoo that says ski for life.
It's true. I have a chainring tattoo on one calf from bicycles, and I have a ski pole tattoo on the other calf.
What a badass.
No, the reason I didn't want to try snowboarding is, one, a lot of my friends tried snowboarding, and they hurt themselves.
Oh, Jesus.
And then my sister tried snowboarding, and she was like, this is terrible. Because by the time that we were able to try snowboarding,
Yeah.
we were already pretty good at skiing.
And you were so used to it, like,
yeah,
why do I have 2 feet strapped to one long wooden thing?
Exactly. So really, like, what my sister and I figured out is we didn't want to have to go back and just relearn
Right.
how to go down these slopes that we already knew
Come on,
how to
go
go
on those
down.
fucking bunny slopes.
I know, like a bunch of
shit.
little freaking losers.
Losers.
So yeah, so
Nice.
I've never snowboarded, have no intention of it.
Nice.
Now, Daniel, I do want to ask your experience skiing or lack thereof.
Here we go. Here's the most important part of the episode.
All right, let's go.
So I actually used to go skiing from like middle school to high school. Probably went on a ski trip at least once a year through school or through Boy Scouts or something like that.
Where would you all generally go skiing?
Whitetail,
Okay, yeah.
Liberty.
Yep,
When
up
I'm
in
there.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
and Maryland.
Yeah. So I've definitely gone skiing. I mean, enough to say that I've been skiing multiple times and could get back on skis now and do like a blue dot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blue circle.
Yeah. Blue dot. Yeah. I mean, I remember when we were at Liberty one time, I fell off the chairlift like 5 feet up.
Oh no!
When I was like 9. It was
Oh.
freaky. And then the dude behind me like put me on the chairlift. He was like, "Don't worry, we'll get your dad." I was like, "Okay."
Aw.
And then so that's my ski
Good
experience. Those are like the only things I remember from skiing.
What were your impressions of skiing? Like, did you have fun?
Oh, fuck yeah, man. I
Okay.
mean, it was always fun. You would always joke about going snow blind and have your ski goggles that you would wear and have your funny like jester fleece hats. And afterwards, you would take the boots off and you'd rub your legs because they had broken your legs and you rub them to set your bones again. I'm kind of being dismissive towards my skiing, but I did actually ski a bit.
We should go skiing at some point then.
I mean, Adam, you talk about your damn condo all the time. Adam keeps
I've
going,
told you multiple times that you're welcome to it whenever you want.
well, I don't want the first time we go there. I don't want to just invite myself. So,
This episode got real awkward real quick.
all right, Adam,
We found the divisive topic.
what's the
among
address of your condo?
555
All right, hold on. I'm writing this
Snowshoe
down.
Drive.
Okay, I bet that's actually it. Yeah, I mean, we would go. It was mostly me, my brothers, and my dad that would go, or on school trips, me and my
Yeah.
friends.
So when you think of skiing, like, what were your impressions of it? Like, you clearly had fun,
Yeah, totally.
but was it? Yeah, I guess I'd like to know more about within those experiences. Is there a reason that you didn't continue with going on ski trips, that kind of thing?
I guess it was, there were some. I don't know if there were really any ski trips in high school that, because like I remember maybe one of my last school ski trips was maybe like 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah.
the other ski trips that were taking place were more like church stuff, Christian club at school. They were going on ski trips maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And we never stayed at some place. It was always go there really early.
Oh, okay.
It was always day trips. Like I never stayed the night somewhere.
Gotcha.
At a lodge or something like that. Great Wolf Lodge. And then went for like another day of skiing. It was always a day trip and then coming back. So I guess it was, there were certainly opportunities to, but once we started getting too busy in high school and it just never happened again, Adam.
And you played a number of other sports as well.
Yeah, I was star quarterback for the water polo team. Yeah, I mean, we were doing, well, that was when I was in like jazz band, so there would be like music trips, and those were even the cooler ones. Those were, yeah, so, I would like to try or go back and do some skiing.
Sure.
But let's kind of get into why, well, actually, how about we take a break?
Okay.
We'll chill, and then we'll get into why you heart skiing.
Perfect.
The stuff that you talked about. I wrote it down. What I wrote down was expensive, ?
Yeah.
And then environmental impact.
There we go.
So we'll be right back, folks.
Perfect.
Don't move from your ski chairlift.
Don't turn off your ear holes.
Nope. Welcome back to Passion Fruits Podcast, a passion project for passionate people. I'm your Lima Bean Daniel.
And I am your Blueberry Adam.
He didn't even fucking remember the one that he
Boysenberry.
did at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Let's see if he remembers the Twitter name when we get to it.
Oh, no.
All right, Adam. Let's hop into so we've got your Cocoa Corner, how you got into skiing. And we just love hearing about little Adam and, and his little boy skis. So let's hop into why Adam hearts skiing.
Sure.
Why do you heart skiing?
I heart skiing for, I'd say, 3 main reasons.
Oh, fuck. I'm only ready for one.
So the first is that it's similar to cycling.
Oh, God.
It allows me to really push myself physically in ways that I hadn't kind of before.
Oh, yeah.
Still going? Yeah.
You know it. He's pushing you physically.
And what that means to me is it's there's definitely an adrenaline rush aspect to it because I love speed. Love speed.
Hell yeah. Cocaine and speed. That's what Adam's all about.
Yep. But there's definitely, especially for downhill skiing, there's an adrenaline rush to it. And I'm still improving, just like I am in life in general.
Yeah, you're a student of life.
Exactly.
On this spaceship we call Earth.
But there are noticeable differences, and I ski consistently enough now where I can try new things and see if it improves my technique.
What new things have you tried?
So a lot of it boils down to trusting my skis more and challenging myself on more difficult slopes. So like literally skiing faster and skiing more aggressively.
Gotcha.
And that's, once again, similar. I'd say very similar to mountain biking.
I was going to say.
Like you have to pick a good line.
Yeah.
You have to be able to read the slope just like you would read a trail or read obstacles.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's better you're more successful in attacking the slope head on and being more aggressive, just like when you're turning a mountain bike on loose terrain. Yeah. You're better to attack it and commit 100% as opposed to being more cautious. And like I said, generally that means you just don't ski as well. You don't ski with as good a form.
Right.
So,
do you follow the old adage, if you French fry when you're supposed to pizza, you're going to have a bad time?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
The entire time I ski, I was like,
if you French fry when you're supposed to pizza, you're going to have a bad time. Yeah. That's that South Park humor we're just so known for.
Oh, yeah.
V South Park.
Edgy.
V edgy.
Edgy, very relevant
My
humor.
view is a little askew. I'll be honest.
Oh, God. Anyways.
Yes. Back to our South Park humor.
So that's a big aspect to
Got
it.
it.
Is it's
you get to do something that you're not able to do every day.
Exactly.
And that because like Joe Blow down at the local gas station can pick up a baseball bat and go play in the majors any old day. But you're skiing to and from work.
Uphill both ways.
Uphill both ways.
And driving
You're part of the
snowstorms.
post office.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I get that.
Yep. Good. End episode right there. I get that. Done. So like I said, the adrenaline rush, kind of the excitement of it all, and just
God,
the
you're such an
activity.
adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, you're like that movie Crank. Oh, it's me, Jason Statham. I'm gonna go skiing to keep my heart pumping. Is that what's going on, Adam? Oh fuck, we figured it out.
Yeah.
If Adam's BPM goes below 50.
I haven't slept in 12 years.
Oh Jesus. That's why you were so good in college.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have studied all night long. And you're studying the most exciting subject, skiing.
Yes.
Continue on why you heart skiing.
The other aspect, the second aspect out of the three that I'm going to talk about is,
I'm checking out for this one though.
is as with cycling,
Yeah.
I love the gear aspect.
Oh,
so
my God.
like all the technology and all the different, the subtle differences between skis and different waxes and different boots.
Whoa,
and,
fuck. Waxes.
yeah.
I like Yankee Candle wax. Expound on that, because I mean, judging by my own section about my own Coca Corner, I'm a pro skier.
So
But talk more about that.
it was fascinating. So,
Oh my God.
I'd say probably 6 or 7 years ago when I was in the bike industry.
Yeah.
I had friends that ran retail shops, like sporting goods shops out in Colorado that were ski shops in the winter and bike shops in the summer.
Ski chalets.
Something like that.
Ski
sure.
chateaus.
Oh, the chateau de skis.
Oh, yes.
And basically, so I asked them one time, I was like,
One time.
what? I asked one of my buddies, I was like, I'm skiing more, what are some good skis? Thinking that they just like give me like, oh, we need to buy this ski.
Right.
And then they asked me all sorts of questions about
Oh my
what kind of
God.
skiing do you do? What kind of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Blah. So there are all these different qualifications as to like what ski is most appropriate for certain conditions.
Gotcha.
And so you've got, I'd say similar to bikes where you have like road bikes and mountain bikes
Right.
and gravel bikes and cyclocross bikes and all these different.
Recumbent.
Yes.
Triceratops bikes.
Electric. So you have all these different types of skis
Yeah.
for different conditions and different types of ski.
Gotcha. Can
That
you? I literally
Yeah.
know fucking nothing.
So
So tell me those conditions.
a lot of the so like if you were skiing here
Yeah.
on the East Coast,
Yeah.
you're generally skiing what you would call like narrow all mountain skis. So skis
Gotcha.
that are meant for hard pack
Mm.
and somewhat icy conditions.
Yeah.
That basically where you're not skiing in a bunch of powder. And on the opposite end, so those skis tend to be a little bit narrower.
Gotcha.
And tend to be actually weigh just a little bit more.
Okay. Got it.
On the opposite end of the spectrum,
Oh my God.
and those skis are more similar to like racing skis.
Okay.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, you have powder skis, which are really, really wide skis. Like
Gotcha.
sometimes double the width of your standard, like kind of East Coast carving ski.
Got it.
And the reason they're wider and generally a little bit lighter is because they have different materials in them, but they're meant to float on top of powder.
Floating.
Yep. So the wider ski helps you float, helps you turn better in the deeper powder snow.
Gotcha. What kind do you have?
I have more East Coast oriented kind of carving skis is
Did-
what they talk about.
Did you take your skis up to Canada or did you rent some?
I rented some the first time. The second time I took my own skis out.
Nice.
But
Take
we
that, Canada.
We tried to rent the second time.
Oh, what?
Didn't work out for
Jesus,
many
why not?
reasons. The Québécois not like to rent skis to the American
Really?
dogs.
They were prejudiced against you?
Very prejudiced.
Oh, my God.
I'm just kidding. No, they were very pleasant. They just didn't have skis available
What?
for us.
There was a ski shortage?
There was.
Coronavirus.
But and kind of between those two extremes, there are all sorts of skis in between. Once again, if you think like a gravel bike, it's kind of like a good road bike. It's kind of like a cyclocross bike, but it's not perfect at either.
Thank you for relating it back to something that I know. Gravel bikes.
That you know, and that all of our listeners are very familiar with.
It is just us listening to this episode now.
But it truly, you relate it to cars.
Oh.
So you have like your really sporty little cars. You have your large pickup trucks. You have your minivans. You have your crossovers. Just like all those cars get you from point A to point B.
It's all about transportation.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing with skis. So depending on the type of skiing you're doing, depending on how aggressive of a skier you are.
You got to get your kids to school. You take the minivan skis.
Exactly.
You want to go fast, you take the sports car
exactly.
skis. Well, that was tough to say. Sports car skis.
So I just had no idea about any of that gear and the difference between it. So it's been a lot of fun for me to research those different types of skis. And now that I've been skiing more, especially over the last probably 5 or 6 years, I've been trying different types of skis, and I can actually tell the difference between all of them.
Oh, nice.
Which is neat.
That is neat.
And that's where I am now, is that's letting me be a more informed kind of consumer.
Jinx, you owe me a soda. Whoa, yeah.
There's a ginger ale downstairs for you.
Nice.
But that's really where I become very fascinated in ski construction and what type of materials they use and the different flex patterns of skis.
Oh,
just
Jesus.
all the stupid little nerdy details that I think that make honestly a pretty big difference in how a ski skis.
You're a real petrol head of the ski world.
I am. Yeah. Same thing with bicycles and cars and all that good
real
stuff.
Real petrol head.
So I like the research aspect, and there's definitely the thought that, if I know how a ski is supposed to ski, it will let me become a better skier if I know how to ski it. So there's a very good example of that.
Okay, here we go.
So
I'll be the judge if it's a good example, but go ahead.
The first Canadian trip that we did this year, we were out in Banff, Alberta, up in the Canadian Rockies, and my dad and I rented demo skis. So the neat thing about that is you could literally switch the skis out as many times as you wanted to try different types of skis. So we had, this demo package for 5 days. Yeah. And you could literally just swap the skis back and forth. So I skied 3 different types of skis throughout those 5 days. And the interesting thing was for me at least, was there were definitely different styles of how you ski, even though they were fairly similar skis. Fascinating. Listeners, stay with me.
That was an okay example. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the gear is one thing, and then obviously all the the helmets, the goggles, the coats.
Gotta look good.
Gotta look super sexy.
Oh yeah.
Insert Ned Flanders Simpson joke.
Exactly.
And then I'd say the last big part that I really enjoy is you feel, I mean, you're almost disconnected from the rest of the world when you're skiing. Man. But skiing's taken me to a lot of different places where I wouldn't have gone originally. And the scenery in a lot of these places is gorgeous. You're on top of a mountain. It's usually snowing all around. So you've got this very picturesque winter wonderland.
You go snowblind.
Yes, very snowblind. I can't see. And so the travel aspect and once again, kind of experiencing new locations, and once again, similar to mountain biking, where every trail is a little bit different, and just keeps things. It's not like running on a treadmill.
Right. Yeah. Nice, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about those things that you wanted to talk about: the environmental impact of skiing and the overall, the bougie quality of skiing.
Yes. We'll start with the bougie quality.
That's
first.
easy to talk about.
That's something that I have not a big issue with, but it definitely bothers me because skiing is very much a sport of the upper middle class to the wealthy.
Totally.
I mean, it's not your layman's sport.
No, not at all.
The barrier to entry is pretty high from a cost perspective.
Right.
I mean, you go to, you spend, 3 days out of your if you go on a ski trip for a week, lodging is expensive.
Right.
A couple $100 a night. The equipment is very expensive.
Right.
You can drop anywhere from $500 to $1,000 on a pair of skis.
Right.
You've got the boots, you've got all the specialty like winter jackets and ski pants and stuff. So you're looking at thousands of dollars of equipment, even if you just want to rent stuff.
Right.
And then obviously there's, what I mentioned before is you can only ski in select locations. So it's not like you can ride a bike pretty much anywhere.
Right.
But skiing requires you generally to travel.
Right.
So like for us, like we went to Canada, airfare, renting a car, so on and so forth. And similar thing for if you're going out west, or even if you're going up to West Virginia or the mountains of North Carolina, like you're spending a lot of money just getting to the ski slope and getting the equipment. And then on top of that, day passes for lift tickets are not inexpensive. I mean, like Sugar Mountain here in North Carolina, $80 a day.
Jesus.
Just to get onto the slope.
That's just a mountain made out of sugar.
Exactly. It melts.
How good is that for skiing?
It melts halfway through the day.
Right.
They have to rebuild it.
So dumb.
And like there was like Vail out in Colorado.
Yeah.
$209 a day for an adult.
That's a car.
Yes.
No, we're joking, but
think about like as a family of 4, if you were to spend a weekend skiing, like you would spend almost $1,700.
Yeah.
Just to get on the mountain. Like that's insane.
So, there's talks about industries like that and how well they're doing. How is the ski industry doing? Because it is an expensive sport, and we'll get back to that. But how is the industry doing?
I'd say it's doing okay.
Gotcha.
It's not gangbusters,
right?
It's also, and we'll get in from my business mind. There are a lot of changes in the ski industry that are happening to kind of prop the sport up to a certain extent. A lot of the big ski resorts around the world are owned by a few large conglomerates,
right? And
they're selling these season passes that are $1,000 essentially, but they give you unlimited access to 40 or 50 ski resorts around the world.
Right.
Now the cool thing is, and you have to buy them before the ski season starts.
Gotcha.
So what my father and I did is we bought the Icon Pass, which is one of these season-long passes, but you have to know that you had the time to go,
right?
And B, you're pretty much gambling on the fact that there's going to be good snow wherever you go.
Yeah.
And so it's not a sport. It's not a method of purchasing lift tickets that allows a ton of spontaneity,
gotcha.
if you will.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pre-planning that has to happen. But the reason they're doing that is because you've got it's a good deal if you go to a place and you can spend the time there. So if you spend, I think our season passes were like $600.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that and you go to a place or you ski 10 days out of the year, your per day skiing cost drops to pretty low. To pretty low.
Right.
Also gives a big cash and influx to these larger conglomerates so that they know how much. So they basically get a big boost in the off season of cash, which allows them to keep a lot of operations running. So it's just a big change.
Yeah.
And I would argue that because of that they've raised daily pass rates.
Gotcha.
And so once again, it becomes less accessible to the person who wants to drive up for the day to a whitetail or to a Sugar Mountain or a snowshoe, who just wants to ski for the day.
Right. There's a big barrier to entry or a gate to entry, and if you're not one of the people who can get a season pass, it would only make sense if like you lived in the area and could just drive there and drive back home, like an hour or something.
So there's a lot of bouginess, a lot of elitism associated with it. It's not a very diverse sport.
Do you wear a monocle when you ride?
Yes.
You wear a monocle and smoke a pipe?
Yeah, they actually don't let you on the lift until you prove that you have
your
a monocle.
top hat and your monocle.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
You actually use canes rather than ski poles with diamond encrusted knobs on the top. What do they call those things at the top? The handles?
The handles, yeah, like
Sure.
the grip or the handle.
Grip.
Sure.
You rip it and grip it, baby.
So it's just one of those sports where like it's very clearly delineated between the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
And also generally the people who work at the ski resorts and the employees at the ski resorts not paid all that well.
Right.
So yeah, I have, from a social equity standpoint, I have a little bit of an issue with it of literally just spending lots of money to do this sport that puts me in a class of people that I usually don't associate myself with.
Yeah.
So that's one aspect that kind of bothers me every now and then.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The second I'd say more broadly applicable issue that I have with the ski industry is how the impact of climate change and how the ski industry is reacting to it, and then how energy inefficient skiing is as a sport.
Gotcha.
So a lot of these resorts. So we'll start with if we start from the ground of like the demographics that are usually associated with skiing, and then go to the fact that a lot of the reason you're paying all this money to get access to the slopes is because winter is not coming anymore in a lot of places. So there's just less persistent snowfall.
Right.
And so a lot of resorts have to, and have been, but rely on man-made snowmaking.
Yeah.
So the energy usage for a lot of these ski resorts to literally make snow is enormous. Like tens, if not hundreds of thousands of kilowatt hours every single day, pumping water, water, a fairly scarce resource in a lot of areas,
right,
to make man-made snow so rich people can slide down a mountain on it. Sounds absurd.
It does. I'll be honest, Adam. It's very bougie.
So it's that, but also with the combined fact that a lot of these people, I don't mean to paint with really broad strokes, but
here you go.
There are, I'm surprised that the ski industry hasn't reacted more aggressively to combat climate change.
Interesting.
Because that's a big, by some scientists' reports, the annual snowfall of a lot of these ski resorts could fall to almost nothing, within 20 to 30 years, which
right,
essentially puts a lot of these places out of business.
Right.
So you're using more energy. You're skiing with equipment and on equipment that is inherently unsustainable and fairly bad for the environment. The process of making skis is not a environmentally friendly process,
like making bikes and stuff.
Yeah. It's we can have that conversation as well about the carbon manufacturing processes for bicycles, and on top of that, you have people once again driving cars, flying in airplanes to get to these ski resorts. So the carbon footprint of your average skier, it makes me shudder to think about, because I consider myself a fairly environmentally conscious person.
Adam likes to just keep his car running all night. I'm very environmental.
I change the oil in my car. I take the electrolyte, just pour it down the drain.
Here, fishies. Yeah. Get some fuel up in your lungs.
I find some baby seals and just pour it over their heads.
But then you get that picture op for the paparazzi.
There we go.
Of you cleaning the seal naked in your bathtub.
It's very odd.
Strange.
But some people are into that. It's okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
How the paparazzi got in my house? No idea. Well, don't ask.
You leave the door unlocked and you yell, "Any paparazzi out there? I'm a famous podcaster."
Yeah, so it's just issues like that I have with the industry and just with the sport itself.
Yeah.
And it's something my father and I talk about all the time. Like, we literally drove 13 hours up to Canada a couple weeks ago. That was a long car trip to go, once again, ski at a resort where we're using a lot of energy and all that stuff.
Well, it's good that you recognize that, Adam. Do you think that will, and not just the fact that maybe you wouldn't be able to ski because of the environmental impact, but do you think in the future that will affect how much you ski?
If things don't change faster than they are, yes. So and it's on the subject of podcasts. I listen to a number of different gear podcasts. And that's actually a trend in the ski industry now from a few different kind of ski industry, like ski manufacturers and stuff like that.
Yeah, is
especially on the clothing side. Using more sustainable and recycled materials in ski clothing. Yeah. Companies like, put a plug through for Patagonia.
Oh, yeah.
a great job at using recycled materials, and they're actively pushing the technology to have recycled materials in every single one of their ski shells.
If only they would sponsor us.
I know.
That'd be amazing.
And some of these podcasts that I've listened to, this is the time of year where everyone starts talking about trends for next year.
Gotcha.
And a lot of them are talking about, sustainability. Like it has to become an inherent part of the industry and a part of the sport.
Right.
Otherwise, we're not going to have a sport.
Yeah.
Same thing, once again, making skis and all the components that go into them. It's inherently a fairly dirty industry. So that is what a lot of people are talking about now, and I hope it starts changing the tune of some of these larger ski conglomerates.
Yeah.
I follow a bunch of sponsored ski athletes and stuff. There you starting to see this groundswell of athletes who are very sustainability driven and saying I can't do the thing I love and I get paid for unless we start paying attention to climate change.
Gotcha. Well, that's good. I mean, that's how it gets started.
Yep.
Interesting.
It nothing ever changes until it starts hitting the wealthy where it hurts. So.
Yep.
So, and I say that a little bit tongue in cheek, but truthfully, I think that's once you cut into their recreational activities and hit them, make the impact relevant to this class of people.
Yeah.
That's the only way it'll start to change.
True dat. Let's take down the wealthy, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much, Adam. That was fascinating. And I feel like I learned something about skiing and your body.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I hope, listeners, to all our billions of listeners out there.
Yeah.
One, I hope I didn't bore you too much.
It's all right. We
Two,
accept your apology.
Two, it's our podcast. We can do whatever the fuck we want to.
You.
And three, that Daniel and I talked about this episode before recording, and it's like, usually we're just a bunch of jokesters, just joking around.
Yeah.
But I thought this was a good time to talk about why we're passionate about something. And
Get serious.
Similar to what Daniel has mentioned on a number of the episodes that he's led with Tarantino.
Sorry, go ahead.
But addressing the controversies associated with these subjects that we're passionate about, and recognize not it being like a complete love fest for it, but recognizing the
flaws.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this is like Armchair Expert 2 back in business. Well, sincerely, thank you, Adam, for skiing down the slopes with me.
Oh, man.
To the end of our episode.
I got that. Nicely done.
So let's talk about recommendations.
Okay.
Last time I recommended that you watch The Witcher. Continue to watch The Witcher. Have you watched any more episodes?
I have not.
Okay.
So partially because I was up in Canada, and
what were you doing up there?
And my dad, for whatever reason, didn't want to watch The Witcher. So, but yes, that is on my list of things to do.
Nice.
Yep.
And I also suggested you watch The Boys, an Amazon Prime TV show.
I have not, once again, just have not had
I don't know how your dad would like that one. And I think we talked about it when I recommended it. It's very, very bloody and pretty graphic. I went through the entire comic book series after watching the TV show. And while I enjoyed the comic book series, it is so different than the TV show. And I actually like the TV show better than the comic book.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because the TV show has taken a lot of inspiration from the comic books, but it has a lot more heart and a lot more, it's like, I don't know, kind of a better story. Okay. So I highly recommend the TV show, The Boys, on Amazon Prime, and The Witcher on Netflix. You don't have to read the comic book for The Boys.
What would you like to recommend?
Well, last time you recommended to me
that's right.
that I listened. Adam even fucking forgot it.
No. I didn't know how you want to do the cadence of this. But anyways,
God.
So last time I recommended to you
Yes.
that you listen to the song Checkpoint.
Checkmate. Adam just wants a checkpoint.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Checkmate by Lamb of God.
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
Okay. So there's supposed to be a new Lamb of God album coming out soon, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I enjoyed the song. I thought the riffs and the lyrics were very typical Lamb of God.
Yeah.
But I can clearly tell that it is a new drummer.
Yeah.
And I know that we talked about it with Chris Adler leaving the band.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I know that we talked about it way back when, that he had like a motorcycle accident or a car accident or something.
Yeah.
Where he was injured and didn't feel like he could give his all for his drumming.
Yeah, the more that it comes out,
Yes.
it doesn't seem like it was Chris Adler's decision to leave the band.
No, and I that's what I saw like maybe 6 months after he left. It was like, yeah, I'm kind of pissed off that I was kicked out of the band.
Chris, in my perspective, has always been the heart and soul of that band. It's really, and he's been one that, from a creative perspective.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
he's been very integral in the songwriting and the music, the musicality of the band. From what I can glean from all the YouTube videos and kind of internet comments is that, he felt like I would say Lamb of God was selling out, but more or less selling out and doing things to promote the growth of the band instead of the growth of the music.
Interesting.
Which I can kind of see.
Like what? How so?
I don't really know. I think there are, I would say, creative differences, but Chris Adler, with all the documentaries that I saw of them, it was like, we're a metal band. This is the type of music that we play.
Gotcha.
And I'd say that kept them arrested, if you will, to a certain sound.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like Mark Morton, Willie Adler, and John Campbell, and I'd say to a certain extent, Randy Blythe, were trying to push their sound just a little bit more and change their sound just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'd say that's an influence of Randy being a more integral part of the band instead of just being the front man.
Right.
Because he's been actively writing lyrics and all that stuff and becoming more of a musician as opposed to just a guy who screams into the microphone. And I think Mark Morton, who is one of the main riff writers for Lamb of God, I think is just trying to expand his creative influence within the band as well.
Gotcha.
So I think creative differences, and maybe Chris Adler thought they were becoming a little bit too corporate. I think he liked that smaller grunge band feeling.
Yeah, totally. Smaller punk kind of band.
So I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say the song was good. I mean, like I said, you could clearly tell it's a new drummer. Yeah. The style of this drummer's drumming was drummerific. I just wanted to see how many times I could say drum. But it was, I mean, because Chris Adler had such a style with like his, like we talked about during our break, how full his drum set sounded on the recording. This drummer's drumming is not very full. Yeah. And I don't know if that's just the mix of the single, how it will be on the album, but...
So I've listened to live Lamb of God performances with Art Cruz as the drummer.
Cruz.
Definitely sounds different.
Okay, got it. All right, well then maybe it's just this song.
No. I meant like it sounds similar to what the song sounds like. Like it's the drum, the fills don't feel like the drum fills don't feel as full. Definitely different use of the cymbals.
No.
So I'm not super happy with it. I won't lie. Like, and maybe this is me being overly harsh and have my expectations way too high for any Lamb of God song.
I mean, it's one of your favorite bands.
It is.
Go back to the Lamb of God episode and hear how much Adam loves Lamb of God. So,
but like to me, I thought Checkmate sounded a lot like Ghost Walking.
Yeah, totally.
And when I heard the first riff, I was like, "Oh, I've heard this before."
Yeah, it was very similar to Ghost Walking. How it started with quiet guitar, which I actually don't mind how it started, like them talking, like it was more of a live feel. I like that, but yeah, it really reminded me of Ghost Walking, and that album is maybe one of their weakest albums.
Yeah, there are a few good songs in
there,
but
it's a good one.
Definitely not my favorite.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so I'll be very curious to see what this new album sounds like.
Yeah,
and I'm still gonna listen to it on repeat.
Nice,
just Lamb of God, but. I wasn't super jazzed about it.
We'll see what happens. Okay. You also recommended that I watch The Art of Racing in the Rain.
Yes.
I have not done that yet. I want to. I heard the movie wasn't that good, though.
What? Oh, it made me tear up.
Well, I mean, it's definitely going to make me tear up.
Yeah, but...
Shut up. I step on a knife in my foot and I tear up. So, yes, I do want to watch it because I do love the book, but... need to prepare myself for just buckets of tears.
Okay.
What would you like to recommend to me today, Adam?
So this time I would recommend.
I'm writing it down.
I would recommend watching the Netflix series F1 Drive to Survive.
Was that
Formula One Drive to Survive.
Is that a new season? Because you recommended that to me
Yes.
a while ago. New season?
New season has come out.
Oh my god!
Have you watched the first season?
I watched the first 2 episodes of the first season.
Oh, okay. Well, if you didn't like it, then you don't have to keep watching it.
No. I will try it. Do you have another recommendation you could give me?
A better recommendation? Let me think. I did at one point in time. Yeah, so no, Daniel, no other recommendations.
Well,
fuck
you.
Gotta watch F1.
Okay, I will try.
What would you like to recommend to me this week, Daniel?
I've got 2 album recommendations for
Okay.
you. Do you like to dance, Adam?
All the time.
Well, let's kind of examine you a little bit, Adam. Do you just like to get silly and just like dance?
No, I hate being silly.
Do you like to just like? I know you like to headbang and like air drum, but do you like just to like groove and shake your ass sometimes?
Sure.
Are you being serious? I'm not joking here, Adam. This is serious.
Get to the point, Daniel.
Okay, so there's these this electronic band that I'm going to recommend, but then there's this indie rock band called Car Seat Headrest that I want you to listen to the album Teens of Denial. The frontman.
Where do you find these bands, Daniel?
So I first discovered this band when I was listening to what year did this album come out?
2016.
Okay, so NPR had a 2016 roundup for their top albums of the year, and one of the guys said this Teens of Denial album was my top album of the year, and I think it may be one of the 10 best guitar albums ever.
Okay.
And everybody was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But it made me go listen to it. So it's this guy, this frontman, I'm forgetting his name, the main guy for Car Seat Headrest, was kind of one of the first indie rockers on SoundCloud, whatever that free music shit is, where you just unleash a bunch of stuff. So he got a pretty big following before he did a major label release.
Okay.
This is his major label release, Teens of Denial. So it's a William & Mary student or grad
I'll
guy.
say what?
Yeah. So he's from Williamsburg, and he has a song where he talks about walking down Duke of Gloucester Street.
Oh, Joe goes to school.
Yep. So it's just a really good. I'm interested to get your take on it because I don't know how much you like indie music. It's very guitar driven.
Okay.
It has some elements of noise rock, some elements of like the Strokes, some elements of
I like the Strokes.
yeah, some elements of like post punk kind of rock music. But the lyrics are very kind of like they're actually for a young guy. They're very deep. They're full of like self-loathing and just like depressing shit.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But like some of them are really like funny lyrics about him like going to a party and he hates the jacket that he's wearing, so he feels like a walking piece of shit. So it's just like this kind of like some not really tongue in cheek, but some humorous aspects to his songs. But they're really really good. They're also coming to Raleigh, so I would like you to listen to them. So maybe you'll come to the show with me. So yes,
I'll wear my William & Mary t-shirt.
nice. He will probably flick you off.
Aw.
Sad. So yes, Car Seat Headrest, Teens.
That's why you like him.
Yeah, because he hates William & Mary. Teens of Denial. And then the other one is Sylvan Esso, and the album is called What Now?
Why have I heard that name before?
So they are a Durham band. And they are an electronic duo, husband and wife. And they're pretty popular.
What now? Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop,
That's it.
What now?
It's disco tunes.
Beep, more, beep.
But it's kind of another good dancey song. I would like to see for you to actually like let me know if you wanted to dance in your seat or your car when you were listening to these albums.
Okay.
Adam's trying to dance right now and he's failing hard. Is that the Harlem Shake? So yes, Sylvan Esso. What Now? It's an album that came out in 2017, so I know I'm on the cutting edge. And then
Bleeding Edge.
Car Seat
Daniel.
Headrest, Teens of Denial.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, listeners, for listening in. Here we go.
Question for you, Daniel.
Oh, God.
Before we sign off,
Yes.
the podcast, newcomers. Did we talk about that last time?
Yes, that was one of my recommendations. Did you listen to it?
I did.
Nice. What did you think?
It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. What have you are you current?
No, I'm not.
Got it.
I've listened up through Return of the Jedi.
Oh my gosh. You need to listen to the next one.
I
They
know.
do their own fan fiction. It's amazing.
I just like the first. So I listened to the first episode, and then I listened to the lot like where they just recorded themselves watching it.
Yeah.
So I was listening to it on a bike ride. It was so funny. Like literally 5 minutes in, they're like, "Is this over yet?"
It is so I love that podcast. It is on my regular rotation now. It is so good.
I really liked at the end of the first episode when they watched The New Hope, and they were like, "Oh my goodness, are they doing this in real time? There's 30 minutes left."
They
in the
talk about
movie?"
that constantly in future episodes. It's so good.
Yeah, so great podcast,
Yeah.
excellent recommendation.
Hilarious. Thank you. God, finally took one of my recommendations. Just kidding. I always take your recommendations, Adam.
Oh yeah, clearly.
I'm good. Well, good. I'm glad you wake it.
Thank you. All right, now we can end.
Yes. Well, God, I'm so glad we got that in at the last second.
Anyway, so Daniel, we have a heavy social media presence.
Yes,
social media
unfortunately we
magnets,
do.
if
Yeah.
you will. So you can find us on Instagram at,
Passion Fruits Podcast.
on Facebook at,
Passion Fruits Podcast.
on Twitter.
You remembered
at,
the one. It's Passion Fruits P2 or Passion Fruits Podcast.
there we go. Or if you would like to send us good old fashioned email,
Yes.
email us at.
passionfruitspodcast@gmail.com.
Perfect. Well done.
We also have a blog. It's Passion Fruits.
Because it's 2008.
Shut up. Fuck you. It's passionfruitspodcast.home.blog.
Oh, man.
Of course, that'll be in our show notes, so just check it out there. We're going to be posting. I mean, because
Oh, and we're on YouTube as well.
we'll get to that. I'm going to get to that. Let me talk. Why I started a blog for a silly podcast. Because, I mean, sometimes after an episode, especially like after the episode we had with Mark, there
Yeah.
was some shit I was like, oh, fuck, I really wanted to talk about that. So this kind of blog will be our little like show notes or tidbits that we talk about after we record. Yes, we are also on YouTube.
Yep.
And this brings us to the point of we would love to get your reviews. We would love you to tell all of your friends about our podcast. And we would really love for you to correct our mistakes.
Oh man, I love it when people point out the flaws in everything that we say.
Yeah, there
It's
was
my greatest joy of being a podcaster.
There was-
People being like, "You're wrong." And I'm like, you know what? I accept your criticism and I appreciate it. It makes us better artists.
No, you know what I say? I say, go fuck yourself, fuck face. Who gives a shit?
We're a rinky-dink little podcast.
Foo Fighters is a 6-piece band, not a 5-piece band. I'm gonna go shit outside because I'm a redneck. Meh.
No one counts the keyboardist as the sixth member of the
Thank
Foo
you,
Fighters.
Adam. Somebody is finally saying this.
Fuck off.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Get home safely and good night.